Hello guys, welcome to CloudTech. In today's video, we are going to discuss two-sum problem. This is a very important problem and was asked in a lot of interviews in Capgemini, Cognizant, and Accenture. This video is divided into three sections. The first section is understanding the problem. The second section is discussing the solution, and the third section is live coding. So let's get to our first section, which is understanding the problem. Here we have two examples. Let's try to see the example one. We will be given an integer array known as nums, and we will be given a target. We need to find two elements from integer array such that it sums up to target. So here the target is 9. If you try to scan through the elements, you will see 2 plus 7 equal to 9. So these are the two elements which sums up to 9. Once we get the element, we need to return the output. We need to return the index of those two elements. If you see the output is 0 and 1, which is indexes of 2 and 7. Let's try to look at example 2. We are given nums integer array and we are given a target of 6. If you scan through the elements, you will see 2 plus 4 equal to 6, and hence we need to return the index of 2 and index of 4 in the output. So now we completely understood the problem statement. Now let's try to discuss the solution of it. We are going to solve this problem with the help of hash map. Hash map is a key value pair. So we are going to utilize that to solve this problem. We are going to scan through the elements. So the elements that we have is, the first element that we have is 3, the next element that we have is 2, and then we have 4. Now for each element, we have to perform following steps in the flowchart. We need to find the complement. Then we need to check if that complement is present in the hash map. If it is not present, then we need to add that complement to the hash map. If it is present, then we need to return the indexes of complement and the nums of I. Let's try to dry run this problem and solve this. So we scan through our array and we try to calculate the complement. What is the complement? Complement is target. Target is what? Target is 6 minus nums of I. Nums of I is the current element. 6 minus 3 equal to 3. I try to check if 3 is present in my hash map. And I see 3 is not there in my hash map. And my hash map is empty. Then what I do? I add nums of I, which is 3, and index of nums of I, which is 0 to my hash map. And then I move to the next element. So I see the next element is 2. Then I do target, which is 6 minus 2, I get as 4. Then I see if 4 is present in my hash map. If 4 is not present in my hash map, then I add nums of I, which is 2, along with its index, which is 1, into my hash map and move to the last element. Then I see target. Target is what? Target is 6 minus nums of I, which is 4. So it comes to 2. I check if 2 is already present in the hash map. Yes, in this case, 2 is already present in my hash map. Then what I do, I return the indexes of the element in the hash map and the index of the current element. So index of the element in the hash map is what? 1. I see here 1. And what is the index of current element? Current element is 2. Then I return this as an output. So this is how we try run the problem and try to solve it. Finally, it's time to solve the problem. So we have a class two-sum problem, and then we have a main method. It's the starting point of the application. Then we have a method two-sum, which accepts nums, which is integer array, and which accepts a target and returns the integer array. Now let's try to write the logic of two sums. The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to use map, as we saw in our dry run. Now map is going to be of integer and integer, because we are going to store the number and the index of that number. So it is going to be integer comma integer. I'm going to name this map as nums of map equal to new hash map. Hash map is a concrete class. So I'm going to use that. Once I create the hash map, the next step is to iterate over the array. So I'm going to take the length of array, integer and equal to nums dot length. I got the length of my array. Once I get the length of my array, I'm going to iterate over the array. So I'm going to do integer I equal to 0, as array starts with 0, I is less than n, which is length of my array, then I plus plus. While iterating, I have to perform 3 steps that we saw. The first step is to calculate the complement. The second is to check in the hash map and then take the appropriate action. So first I'm going to calculate the complement. Complement equal to what? Complement equal to your target minus your nums of I. Here we got the complement. The next step is to check if complement is present in my hash map. So if my nums map dot contains, there is a method to check if key is present in my hash map. It's known as contains key. So I'm going to do contains key and complement. So this will tell me if my complement is present in my hash map or not. So if the complement is already present, then we are going to return the indexes of my complement and the index I, which is my current element. So return, what I'm going to return? New integer array, and integer array is going to be my index of my complement, which is nums map dot get. And what is the key? Key is my complement. And what is another index? Another index is my current element index, which is I. So I'm going to return the index of these two elements. What if the complement is not present in my hash map? In that case, simply I'll try to add that thing into my hash map. Nums map dot put. Put is the way to add the element to my hash map. What I'm going to add? I'm going to add the current element, which is nums of I, and the index of that element. Index is what? I. So this is the thing I'm going to add into my hash map. What if I iterate through all the elements in my hash map and still didn't find the solution? In that case, I'm going to return the empty array. So it is going to be return new integer empty array. So empty array is declared like this. So this gives me the solution. We just created a hash map. We found the length of our nums array. We iterated through our nums array, and then we performed 3 steps. We found the complement. We checked if the complement is present in our hash map. If it is present, then we return the index of the complement and the current element. If it is not present, then we added that element, nums of I, and the index of that element into our hash map. So let's try to run this problem. To run this program, we need the instance of this class. Click some problem. I'll try to create an instance as solver to some problem. Now, once we create the instance, I want to call the method toSum. So solve dot toSum. What is the requirement? We need to pass an integer array. So let's try to create an integer array. How to create an integer array? Integer nums, and I'm going to define the elements, which is 3, 2, 4. So this is my integer array. Now the next step is to give the target. So target is what? Target is 6 in my case. Let's try to pass the nums and the target to this integer array. So target. Okay, so we pass the nums and target. Now we should get the result, which is again an integer array equal to this. So this result should contain the indexes of the elements. Now let's try to print this out. What I'm going to print? I'm going to print the result, arrays dot toString, and I'm going to pass the array to this. So this should give me the result. So let me run this program and see what happens. Run Java application. When I run this program, I get the indexes 1 and 2. So on index 1 we have 2, on index 2 we have 4. So when I add 2 plus 4, it gives me 6. Let's try to run a case where the sum is not present. So if I do 8 and try to run this program, when I ran this program, I see I got empty array because I don't have any elements that sum up to 8. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you guys for watching. Keep liking, keep subscribing.